Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to some more beginning of the end times. We are back with another online battle because in the previous video I did, you guys were letting me know that you really did want to see more online battles on my channel from beginning of the end time. So who am I to deny you guys that gloriousness? You guys also mentioned that you wanted to see more factions other than just, you know, the ones which are going to be in Warhammer 2, and I do hear your call for that. So if this video gets around about 500 likes, I have another replay which is the Chaos versus Dwarfs, and if this video gets like 500 likes, I'll be sure to upload that in the next couple days so you guys can see it. And if not, if this video doesn't get that, that's fine, I'll just upload it sometime next week. But yeah, if you guys want to see it sooner, then do let me know. So yeah, today we have a 2v2 online battle sent in by Warbane. Massive thank you for him for doing that. It makes my job a lot easier, and I will also link his YouTube channel down below. But yeah, we have a 2v2. We have 2 Lizardmen players, and then we have 2 Skaven players down the hill in this epic engagement. There's plenty of interesting units to go through, so we'll go ahead and jump through the army comps right now, and then we'll get stuck into the battle. If you want to skip straight to the battle itself, I'll leave a skip to battle timestamp in the description where you guys can just find it and jump straight to when the battle starts. So we'll start off with this far right Lizardmen army with the cavalry. We have a bunch of these Cold One cavalry forces for the Lizardmen. I love how the Lizardmen don't actually have like spears on these guys. They just continue to go with their like really heavy blunt weapons just to smash in the rat skulls. Yeah, so we got some more Cold One cavalry right here. We also have some of the Lizardmen scarred veterans as well. These guys actually do have spears. They're basically just like the speared Lizardmen on obviously Cold Ones, and they look really good. So some pretty nice heavy cavalry coming out from the Lizardmen already, and the Skaven don't even really get that much great heavy cavalry, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Skaven actually deal with that. On the front lines, we have some Sauruses. Obviously, these are pretty heavy melee infantry right here, and you know, they're not exactly super expensive for the Lizardmen either, so these guys can really get stuck in. They're super cost efficient, and they are obviously really strong in melee combat compared to a lot of the other factions, you know, for the same price. We make our way back. We have some of the skink archers. This is going to make up the majority of the archer force for both of the Lizardmen forces. They obviously do have some engines of war and stuff like that we'll get onto in a second though. We also have some more temple guard. This is like the elite heavy infantry from the Lizardmen. I love the colors, you know, very Aztec feel, and these guys are just really strong, so I can't wait to see them actually get stuck in. We also have some of these engines of war back here. These guys, oh no, these are just the normal stegodons right here. Yeah, there's 3 of them, and they can just wreak havoc on the lines of the enemy, killing like 20-30 people if they rampage. They also have some skinks on top who are going to be throwing javelins, kind of harassing the enemy, which is great to see, and I love the textures on the actual I guess the platform right here. It's really nice. Like the quality on this is just really good for Medieval 2. Then as we go across, we have some Croxagores. These guys are one of my favorite Lizardmen units. They're so strong, and I love their tails and just the huge weapons. I can't wait to see these guys in Warhammer 2, that's for sure. So we actually get, what, 3 units? 3 units of Croxagores back here. That's insane. I can't wait to see what they get up to. We also have some engines of war who are actually just starting to shoot. These are basically, I really don't want to miss this shot. These are basically just the stegodons with skink priests on top. This one, is this the actual general? This could actually be the general right here. Yeah, I think it is. And yeah, we have basically a skink priests off just shooting missiles. Kind of like the Anvil of Doom if you've seen that on this mod, or any of the other mages like this. They just kind of shoot out a magic missile, and it does cause a lot of damage. So I'll try and make sure we don't miss the impact on that, so don't worry about that. We also have another engine of war back here as well. So if we look at the other Lizardmen army with some more Croxagores, we can kind of do this army a little bit quicker. We have a long line of these Sauruses along here. Behind that we have the elite line of Temple Guard. Again, these guys ready to do battle with their amazing weapons. We continue to go on. We have more skink archers on the front line. We actually also have the chameleon skinks as well, and they obviously shoot arrows out of their blowtorch, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice to see. Some more of these stegodons. We have a line of Croxagores back here as well, so plenty of Croxagores for the Skaven to deal with. That's going to be an interesting matchup. And then we also finally have some more cavalry over here, more skink archers, and I believe the cavalry is hidden away in the jungle, which is really cool to see. Like, I love this map as well. It's really fun to see the Lizardmen fighting in the jungle. But we also have some more Saurus scarred veterans right here, and I believe that's the entire force for the Lizardmen, so a pretty strong force to contend with, that is for sure. Where did the missile go as well? Did it hit? It kind of hit already. Oh yeah, it did hit. Oh, that was a pretty nice... I mean, it didn't really kill too many people, in fairness. However, you know, I guess every little helps taking out the Skaven. So let's run through their army really quickly. We have a fine line of spear slaves. Again, these guys are basically just throwaway units. Don't really expect them to do much, just to kind of act as cannon fodder as they rush forward. Behind that, we have a whole line of warp lock rifles. These guys are pretty long range. And yeah, they're already shooting. Oh, the missile's coming in right there now. Oh, got a huge hit right there on the storm vermin. Nice. And actually hitting a lot of these warp lock rifles as well. These guys can actually already shoot from over here. Wow, they're in a really good position already. We don't want to kind of skip to a battle too soon. So yeah, we have a line of warp-lock rifles. Behind that, we have storm vermin, so the elite rat force right here. These guys are going to be the ones actually doing the most amount of damage. We also have some clan rats on the right flank. So we're pretty much trying to give up the forest. We don't really want to get content like fight in there too heavily. We make our way back. We also have some of these poison wind mortars. We have 2 of them, and we also have a warp lightning cannon as well. So some pretty good range from the Skaven. If they can start sniping out maybe some of the engines of war, they can really push the fire onto the enemy and force them to come off that hill. We also have a couple units of these albino guard, which are kind of like a regiment of renown, I understand, for the Skaven. We go on to the other Skaven army on their front line. Again, we have some warp rifles, just causing, they've got really nice range on these guys. So they're going to try and maybe force the Lizardmen off the hill. We go back, we have some more clan rats or some clan slaves. So these guys are even worse. Just hordes of 200 rat men pushing forward, which is going to be pretty brutal to see. Oh shit, Indie Pride's actually playing in this replay. I did not realize that. That's pretty cool. Hopefully he doesn't mind me casting this replay. I'll obviously make sure to ask him beforehand. We also have some plague monks back here and another warp lightning cannon right here as well. We keep on going on, making our way back. We have some storm vermin who are going to be lining up ready to push forward. And we also have a screaming bell as well to keep the ratmen in check and advancing forward, and another albino guard, which is always good to see. We also have some rattling gunners. I can't wait to see what these guys can do. And then finally we have some more albino guard pushing down this left flank, and another warp lightning cannon as well, kind of set up on the flank. So yeah, I think that is everything. Let's go ahead and get this battle started. I believe the Lizardmen are actually pushing off the hill, which is good to see. They are rushing forward with a large portion of their skink archers and their skink cohorts. These guys are going to be trying to hit the oh, we've got another. Look at the missiles coming in. This is going to be insane right here. Trying to take out the warp lightning cannons, I think, is a smart move, whittling them down. But we obviously also have the warp lightning cannon just about missing. The artillery is just hectic here. Holy crap. A lot of the warp lock rifles coming in here as well, just pinning down a lot of the skink archers. The skink archers are getting really, really close. I'm not really sure why they're getting so close, because they're going to be getting harassed by a lot of these slaves. Yeah, and they're going to have to fall back very soon, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get back in time. So the clan, the spear slaves are actually going to go ahead and hit these guys. They're going to get a load of damage onto these skink cohorts. Luckily, the skink cohorts are going to be quickly reinforced by a large line of these temple guard, which is going to probably be enough to scare off the clan rats straight away, and that's actually kind of sending them back already. God, these guys are already routing. They can't really stick around without much support, that's for sure. The battlefield is being lit with a lot of missile fire right now, as the secondary Lizardmen army does make its way forward. I think these guys have been poisoned by the mortars right now. The amount of missile fire coming in, though, is horrific. Luckily, a lot of these missile shots are actually missing, which is not too bad. The fighting is continuing, though, as the Sauruses make their way forward to try and deal with some of these clan rats. The clan rats won't really stand up against the Sauruses at all. Oh, we've got a lot of the poisoned wind throwers from the mortars. Yeah, you can see the poison damage coming down. I'm not sure what that does to the actual unit stats, but I imagine it destroys the morale of the unit pretty horrifically. And there we go, the Saurus is engaging against the clan rats. The clan rats are going to get just swept aside by the Sauruses, but this is kind of opening up a large portion of the enemy line, so it allows the Skaven to actually go ahead and whittle these guys down and use their rifles just to hit the in-place units. You can see so many missiles coming over here, and we also have the warp fire throwers as well, just burning these Sauruses, who are actually going to be routing from the battlefield. The morale damage from all these rat weapons are horrific right now. They are doing a lot of damage. I'm also going to go down just to a little bit of a slower speed, because this battle's happening quite fast, and I don't want to miss any of the action for you guys. So some of the Croxagores are engaging against the Storm Vermin. This is probably a pretty good engagement for the Storm Vermin, if I'm honest. They get to hold these guys at a distance and use, obviously, their longer spears, their longer halberds, just to push back the Croxagores and do damage. If these Croxagores manage to get into range of, say, like the of the clan rats, they'll just rip them apart. But, you know, the Stormvermin can actually hold their own. A lot of the missiles are coming in now. I think the Lizardmen have realized they really need to take care of these Warplock rifles, because they are just racking up so many kills on the heavily in place Lizardmen, who are now getting caught up in the lines of the forces. The battle is continuing on this right flank now, as we have more of the Stormvermin, again, having a really favourable, maybe not a favourable engagement, but this is the best scenario for the Stormvermin to be fighting these Kroxigors. You know, this is, if the Kroxigors got onto any of the other units, they wouldn't stand a chance, but the Stormvermin can definitely hold them in place. And I mean, look how clumped up these guys are as well. If they can just get, if Indie Pride can just get some shots off onto them, he's going to whittle them down so quickly. However, he is taking the more favourable target right here and trying to kill the heavy cavalry, which is a really smart move by Indie Pride. If he can kill this cavalry, that's going to be just make his life so much easier in this engagement, because right now he doesn't really have any way of dealing with them. Oh, and the rattling gunners are actually opening up on them. Look how fast they shoot as well. That is insane, seeing the rattling gunners just destroy anything in their path. Yeah, they get like a burst shot of like 6 or 7 warp lightning shots before anything else happens. You need to obviously protect him, and he's doing a great job with his spear rats as well. Another charge here by the Scar veterans coming into the Albino Guard. That's not going to be an issue whatsoever. So Indie Pride has done an amazing job of whittling down this cavalry. You know, there was what, 4 units of Cold Ones back here, and they're pretty much all gone now, which is really good. However, the Kroxigors are now pushing on to these gunners, which is not too good. As I mentioned, you know, the Kroxigors want this engagement right here, because they will just kill these guys so quickly. You can see so many rats just flying in the air already as the Kroxigors continue just to rip them apart. The Lizardmen have almost surrounded the Stormvermin right here, kind of making a nice little arc formation as the Stegodons? Yeah, the Stegodons do make their way up to actually continue in this engagement. If these Stegodons get a nice little roar on these guys, they are going to be destroyed. As you can see, the Stegodon making its way into the engagement. If these guys get a trample down, which you can see they just killed like 6 or 7 Stormvermin right there, that is brutal. Continuing to make our way down the battle line itself, we can see that the rats, the plague monks are getting around the sub, but these engines of war are just relentlessly shooting. The Kroxigors, however, are being almost killed on this right-hand side. The Stormvermin, along with the support of the clan rats, are holding them in place, and with the rifle fire and everything else, the Kroxigors are slowly going down. But I mean, these engines of war are just constantly shooting, finding perfect hits off on these warp lightning cannons and onto the mortars and all the back line for the Skaven. Some more of the clan rats getting stuck in against the Kroxigors. However, Kroxigors aren't going to really be worrying about them too much. We also have the engagement, the spear rats and the Stormvermin fighting some more of this cavalry. So you just see more Lizardmen just making their way across the battlefield in the background. Oh, nice. That was a really good shot from the warp lightning cannon by the looks of it, taking out one of the Lizardmen general. That's going to be huge in this battle for sure, as more of a Temple Guard just kind of swoops around the jungle to kind of close off this left-hand side. I'll also zoom in on the map as well so you guys can see a little bit better. That's going to be huge. Losing the general for one of the Lizardmen forces is going to be crazy. As look at the missiles are just crazy, just coming from everywhere. Hopefully finding some big hits off here. We have a lot of this Cold One cavalry still left alive. How is Indie Pride's forces doing on this side? Pretty good. A lot of the Stormvermin are getting stuck in, killing a lot of the Stegodons and the Kroxigors, the more like expensive units for the Ratmen. But it just seems like there's so many, like just looking down this battle line, it just looks like there's so many Lizardmen. I don't really know how the Skaven are gonna like have a chance of winning this. I just feel like they don't have a chance whatsoever. But it just seems like there's so many Lizardmen. Maybe this was like an initial invasion from the Skaven, and the Lizardmen were just ready to push it back, which is a shame. I feel like they've done admirable with what they had though, because obviously there's just so many missiles and just creatures and stuff of the Lizardmen. And now that these Warplock rifles are being caught, they're going to be getting killed from the Temple Guard. They also have some of the engines of war who are actually pretty bloodied. But again, yeah, it just seems like the Ratmen had no hope here whatsoever. More Temple Guard coming flying into the back of the Stormvermin and the Albino Guard. They are now fighting back to back against Sauruses on one side. I mean, they've done a really good job at killing these Sauruses on this left-hand side. Oh, but oh my god, the Stegodons are now coming in, just ripping through the Albino Guard. And this is not spelling victory for the Skaven. However, the battle is still raging on. You never know. If they can get another kill on the enemy general, who knows what could happen. A lot of the Ratmen are retreating. I think it's just a few pockets of resistance to the Skaven. They have a lot of their Storm Vermin there. A lot of their elite units still fighting. I love the look of that Warp Lightning Cannon as well. How it's been like overrun and the spikes are still in there. You see the Stegodons in the distance as well. Oh, more rifle fire over from the Warlock rifles. I think the heavy cavalry has been dealt with really nicely from the Skaven. Like, I feel like Indy Pride and his ally did an amazing job at dealing with the heavy cavalry. It's just more of these, more of the infantry and missiles. Like, the Lizardmen just seem like they have everything at their disposal. As we get a huge hit there from the missiles coming in there, burning so many rats. Kroxigors are just still alive. There's just so many of them. How's the right flank doing? Is the right flank still remaining? The Warp Lightning Cannon is going to get just incinerated by these Kroxigors. Is there any Ratmen left on this right flank? I'm not sure if there is. No, a lot of the Cold One Cavalry still alive. Oh, a lot of these Stegodons have been taken. No, they haven't been taken down yet. The entire Rat force has just been killed on this right flank. Didn't stand a chance. But however, Indy Pride is still holding firm. Getting a really nice charge off onto the Skink Archers. And yeah, he's taking them down pretty effectively. Going to rack up some nice kills on them. And then he just has his last line of warriors still fighting. His Storm Vermin holding. I mean, these Warlock rifles as well are, you know, constantly shooting. They're going to be racking up some nice kills if they continue. They are taking a lot of missile fire from the Skink Archers. But again, if Indy Pride can wrap around his Storm Vermin to help out, that could definitely... He's got a lot of his Warlock rifles left, so he's going to fall back and kind of create a Napoleonic-style battle right here with his lines of rifles. However, the Lizardmen, I mean, the Skaven also have a unit back here as well. I guess these are just the clan rats who have routed. Yeah, clan rats who have routed from the battlefield. We go back to the main engagement though. You can see the Cold One Cavalry just coming in, descending upon the Warlock rifles. But the other lines are still shooting, racking up some kills, trying to kill the Engines of War right now. They're all their hits are finding their targets. It's just the Engines of War have a high amount of HP. This far left rifle unit as well is focusing on the Kroxigors. However, Kroxigors are going to be charging in onto the oncoming fire. And they're going to be just ripping apart the line. Oh, they're going to be trying to. Yeah, here we go. More of the reinforcements right here. And then they go. The Ratmen are going to be hard-pressed to kind of do any damage now that the Cold One Cavalry is pushed forward and the Kroxigors are here. But I mean, there are Kroxigors going down. The back lines are still shooting. I think the Albino Guard has started to rout, but they are still pretty strong though. Indy Pride is doing an admirable job right here at holding back the enemy advance. He still has plenty of soldiers back here. He also has some Storm Vermin just chasing down these Skink Archers. If you can get these guys back into killing more of these Skink Archers, that would be a great job at actually taking out a lot of the missile force. The Kroxigors are being hit back, and Indy Pride is actually retreating a large portion of his forces to try and protect his rifles. However, oh my god, just getting surrounded. Kroxigors on the front, scarred veterans on the back. Oh no, these are on the Cold One Cavalry on the back. And yeah, that's going to be all she wrote for this Skaven unit of gunners. I really loved seeing the Rattling Gunners as well shoot out their shots. That was awesome to see them just tear apart as more of the Lizardmen cavalry just come through. I feel like the Ratmen just had no chance in this battle. I feel like, I'm not sure what the cost, like who got more money, but I feel like the Lizardmen must have got more money, and they got the high ground, because these Engines of War just tore apart the main Skaven line, and they just didn't really have a lot to answer with. Maybe it's just the Lizardmen are really strong in this patch, and not that expensive, because I know the Storm Vermin are pretty expensive to fight with. As we have the last stand, the Albino Guard. Oh, a huge hit here from the Engines of War, fighting massive smashes on these Albino Guard. They're just relentless. There's like 4 shots coming in there from the Skink Priests. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. The Archer fire from the Skink. Look at that. This is a constant Archer volley as well from the Skink Archers. More of the Cold Ones coming in. The Engines of War are constantly shooting. Wow, they are so expensive. The bell is still screaming though, as the last couple units of Albino Guard get surrounded. So as I mentioned, I have a few more replays to actually cast as well. So I have a high elf versus dark elf battle, I have a high elf versus Skaven battle, and I have a few chaos versus empire and chaos versus dwarf battles. So let me know what ones of them you want to see next. I did say I'll do the dwarf versus chaos battle next if you guys got this video to 500 likes. So if that does happen, I'll be able to do that in the next couple of days for you guys, and hopefully you enjoy it. As more of the Croxagores come flying in. Oh, we did actually use an engine of war right there. Yeah, an engine of war did actually go down. So even though these Ratmen are just surrounded, there is no hope for them whatsoever to win this battle. They are still racking up some kills on the enemy forces. A lot of the Skaven forces are actually coming back as well. We have a Warlock Rifles, you know, just returning, just getting some nice kills off. However, a huge hit there from the engine of war. Hopefully these guys can take down the last engine of war maybe. The Scarred Veteran Cavalry is going to come flying in against these Clan Rats. And we'll just see their numbers drop. Oh my god, they just lost so many. They lost like 40 rats right there in one engagement. And then the Croxagores and the Temple Guard are going to be following up very, very quickly. The warp throwing, what are they even called? The warp fire throwers are going to be getting smashed down by the Scarred Veterans as well now. Or the Cold One Cavalry, sorry. Scarred Veterans have the black cold ones. And there we go. The players have started to admit defeat. There is no hope left for the Skaven, and the Lizardmen are going to win this battle. So overall, a pretty fun battle. Obviously, I feel like that battle was kind of one-sided to begin with. However, I feel like the Skaven did a really good job at holding with what they had. You know, I think Indie Pride did a really nice job at holding that front line, considering how much cavalry he was up against. And I mean, the Skaven can't really deal with cavalry that well. They have to really use their range and their artillery and their rifles to their advantage. You can see, look how few men the Lizardmen lost. I feel like they just had such a huge advantage in this battle. If we look at the kills, we can see that we got 125 kills on that Saurus unit at the bottom. We continue to make our way down. We have 141 on a Skink cohort, which is pretty nice indeed. The Engines of War, how did they do? Well, we can see the other army as well. You know, one of them racking up 138 kills on the Skink Archer. So the Skink Archer is really doing pretty decently in this battle. The Croxagores not really going in too much. I feel like the Ratmen did a really good job at holding off the Croxagores and minimizing their damage, which was very good. But overall, I feel like the Skaven just had no hope in that battle whatsoever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment. I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.